Hi, good morning everyone. So in the last class, we saw how to name the organic compounds and we saw what are the suffix we use during the naming and what are the prefix we use, right? So already you all must and should know these prefixes and the suffixes. Prefixes and suffixes are very important. Before starting this class, I again want to clear you that what I said, I am giving just a hint to name the organic compounds. I am not going in any difficulties. Like I am not using a compound having branches. I mean large compounds or big compounds we can say, and the compounds having functional groups. Right? You might see the number of examples, such examples in your books, but I am not going in that detail. So I want to just clear the things how to name a organic compound or simple organic compound without functional group or without any branching or without any secondary prefixes or primary prefix. I am not going in that detail. Just we are seeing what are the important things to know or how to name a organic compound. So in that regard, in last class, what we saw is in the last class we had saw the compounds of only type alkane, and hardly I have saw 3 to 4 examples, I think. So in this class today we will see, and I have given homework also, right? How you all did, right? Okay, if you did means it's very good. Try yourself, then you come to know what are the difficulties, right? So in this class we will start alkene, how to name the compound having double bonds. Before that, what I said, we have to check the alkane compound still decaying, right? So today we will take again alkane only primarily, and then we will move to the alkene. So say for example CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Okay. Remember, first what we need to do is we have to count the number of carbon atoms as we did in the last class, right? So very simple. Check how many number of carbon atoms are present in this particular compound. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 means what prefix we need to use according to the root word. We need to use a pent, that's all. Later we will see what is the name of compound, but for now we have to see what is the prefix for this, and the prefix is pent. So therefore I will just write pent, then later we will go for suffix, then we come to know or we will get one name. Later we will see what is that name, right? So now check whether all the that means in this compound all the in between carbon and carbon, what is the condition? So in between carbon and carbon there is a single bond. So that's why if it is a single bond, then what I said, we have to use a suffix as ane. Now you can name a complete compound, right? So like this. Now the name of the compound is pentane, right? So likewise, we can see in case of alkane or simple saturated compounds, right? So today we will see in case of alkenes. To move towards the alkene, it is very important that we require at least 2 carbon atoms, right? So otherwise we can't say whether that is the alkene or alkyne, right? That means if like this, in this case, we cannot say this as alkene. Why? Because to check whether the compound is alkene or alkyne, then we must and should require at least two electrons. Sorry, at least two carbon atoms, right? But in case of alkane, one we can name this also, right? See, how many number of carbon atoms? One means what we need to use? We need to use a prefix as meth, right? So around this carbon, there is only one carbon. But what is alkane or saturated hydrocarbons? Saturated hydrocarbons are nothing but in between carbon and carbon, if there is a single bond, right? Here, there is only one carbon atom, no need to go for that. If it is a one carbon atom means always around it, there may be a single bond only with the hydrogen. And in case of sigma and pi bond class, I explained whenever there is a bond between carbon and hydrogen, it is always a type sigma bond and it is always a single bond. So that's why what we have to do, we have to use a suffix as ane. Again, we consider this as a saturated. Why? Because only one carbon atom. That means there is no question of unsaturation, whether it may be a double bonded unsaturation or it may be a triple bonded unsaturation, right? Is it clear? Right? Why? Because this point is very important. If you try to name these according to by using these prefixes and suffixes, you can name any compound, right? So, okay, we will move towards today's topic, that is alkene. So now see, carbon carbon double bond, right? Again we will go with the basic, right? So with respect to this carbon atom, there are two bonds with this. So that means how many hydrogen we require to complete its valency? 2 hydrogen. That means now 2 plus 2, 4. That's all. So again, for this also the condition is same. Only two for this carbon, only two bonds are there. That means it requires totally 4. That means we have to give 2 hydrogen to complete its stable state, right? So now the compound is ready to name. So check again the same point. What we have to do? First, we have to check the number of carbon atoms. How many number of carbon atoms are present? 2, right? 1 and 2, right? First, you don't go for unsaturation and all. First your duty is to check, or your work is to check number of carbon atoms. So then only we will get prefix. Once we got the prefix, then it is very easy to go with the saturation and unsaturation. So now how many number of carbon atoms are there? 2. So that means 2 means what we have to add as a prefix or use it, right? So now go for that. That means saturation or unsaturation. Clearly the compound is unsaturated, and the unsaturation is type what? Alkene. If it is a alkene, then what we have to use as a suffix? ene. Very important. See, if in between carbon and carbon there is a double bond, then we must and should use a suffix as ene. So now add ene, you will get one name, that is the compound name. What is this? Ethene, right? So like how one we can name for unsaturated compounds, right? We will have some more examples, right? Clear? Okay. So now CH3 double bond CH2, that means 3CH, right? So check the valency of carbon in this compound. Before going to the going for the naming, we must and should check whether the compound is correct or not with valency of carbon. See, there are 3 hydrogens. If I write like this, then you can understand very easily. So CH3. Consider first this carbon atom, right? So star carbon atom. There are 3 hydrogen. That means 3 bonds. 3 plus 1, 4. That means its valency is satisfied. Now forget about this. And now check the middle carbon atom. So in middle carbon atom, now one bond with hydrogen, right? One, and these are two bonds. One, two, three, and this one. This is one more. That means 1, 2, 3, and 4. That means the middle carbon atom is also having correct valency. And now check last one. Very easy. Again, you forget these two, and then 2 plus 2, 4. That means the valency is satisfied, and now the compound is correct. Now go for naming. So again the same thing. What number of carbon atoms? So how many number of carbon atoms are present? 1, 2, 3. 3 means what we have to use? We have to use prefix as just a probe, right? Probe. Now I will not give number also, right? So I don't want to give some that rule also, right? That is called lowest numbering rule, right? So I am not going that rule. Just simply I am naming, right? Later we will see in the offline classes when you come to the college. Then we will study all those things, right? Why? Because why I'm not explaining means what are the difficulty you are having by naming. I will not get it. Why? Because everyone can't ask the question now in the video classes. So that's why I'm just restricting the subject, right? So now there is an unsaturation, right? The next step is to check whether the compound is saturated or unsaturated. Now, student, see here very carefully. So there is a single bond in between these two carbon atom, and there is a double bond between these two carbon atom. Then how to identify whether it is a saturated or unsaturated, or both saturated with respect to these two carbon atom and unsaturated with these two carbon atom? No, not like that. If, see, listen carefully, if double bond is present anywhere or triple bond or triple bond are unsaturated only, double bond or triple bond are present anywhere in the compound, then that compound will be always unsaturated. If it is triple bonded unsaturated. If it is double bonded unsaturation, like that, like this we can say. But with respect to these two carbon atom, it is saturated. With respect to these two carbon atom, it is unsaturated. Not like that, right? If we have to see the whole compound or given compound, if it is having anywhere or in the middle or in the terminal position, wherever it may be, right? If it is a double bond present in the compound, then definitely it will be unsaturated of type alkene. If it is a triple bond, then it is a unsaturated of type alkyne, right? Right? Unsaturation and saturation. Clear, right? Don't get confused. So now double bond means what we need to use? We have to use ENE. That means the name of this compound is propene, right? So, and sometimes you see one propene. Why? Because if we go like this, that's why I am not explaining these rules. Don't get confused. If I say propene, then also it is wrong actually. But I am just trying to understand you people that how to name the compounds, right? So now we will take one more example. CH3 CH double bond CH3, right? Very important. So now first check whether the compound is correct or not, right? Very important. So first go for this carbon atom. With respect to this carbon atom, there are 3 hydrogens, 3 bond in the form of hydrogen plus 1, 4 satisfied, right? So now come to this. That means second carbon atom. With respect to second carbon atom, see 1 and in the hydrogen bond in the form of hydrogen, one more bond in the form of hydrogen bond. That means 1 and 2, and these two, right? 4. That means the second carbon atom is also satisfied. So now come to the third one. Third means see 1, 2, 3 and 4. Correct. So that means this carbon atom is also satisfied. So now finally it is very easy. 3 plus 1, 4. Satisfied. So compound is correct. So now go for naming. So now first what we have to do? We have to check the number of carbon atoms. Same thing we have to follow, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 4 carbon atoms are present. So 4 means again 4 means this bute, right? So now see in this compound wherever there is a double bond, yes, of course in this compound there is a double bond. Double bond means okay. Double bond means what we have to do? We have to consider this atom as a molecule or compound as a unsaturated compound. That's all. Unsaturation of type what? Double bonded unsaturation. Double bonded unsaturation means what suffix we have to use? Suffix as ene. Add ene, you will get as butene. That means 2 butene actually, but I'm not going for numbering, right? So butene. Like this, we can name it. We will take one more example of type alkene. Unsaturation of type alkene. So now see CH3, CH2, CH2, CH double bond, CH2. Right. So now again check the compound 3 plus 1, 4 with respect to this carbon atom. Okay, this carbon atom valency is satisfied. So now come to second one. Second one means see 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, this is also satisfied. So now come to the third carbon atom. With respect to third carbon atom, see 1, 2, 3 and 4 satisfied. So now coming to the fourth, 1, 2, 3 and 4 satisfied. So now for the last carbon atom, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So compound is correct. So one we can name this compound. So by seeing this complete compound, what we are observing is somewhere there is a double bond. That means of course it is an unsaturated compound, unsaturated type double bond. So therefore we add a suffix as a ene. Directly we will go. How many number of carbon atoms are present? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So thus there are 5 carbon atoms. Since because presence of 5 carbon atoms, what type of prefix we have to use? We have to use a prefix as pent. Now because there is a presence of double bond, right? Double bond means unsaturated compound, of course. So if there is an unsaturated compound, then we need to add a ene as a suffix. Then we will get one name, that is pentene, right? Pent plus ene, pentene. So this is the name of this compound, we can say, right? So again, you can take it as an assignment, right? For unsaturation of type alkene, till 5 carbon atom compound we have did in this particular class. What I want is from you from 6 to 10, right? A compound having 6 carbon atom till 10 carbon atom with a double bond, name them and please send me, right? I will be waiting again. So now coming to the last part of our IUPAC nomenclature, that is a type called unsaturation only, but it is triple bonded unsaturation. So triple bonded unsaturation is nothing but right. So here these type of unsaturated compounds are very reactive. Why? Because there is a presence of pi bond, 2 pi bond and 1 sigma bond. So that's why as compared to alkane and alkene, these compounds are very reactive towards the other chemicals, right? Whatever it may be a acid, it may be a base, or it may be a salt, whatever it may be, they easily react. So now we will see those such compounds, right? So for these alkynes also we require minimum 2 electrons. Then only we will get alkyne type, right? So I will take this example first, right? So now arrange the compound with respect to the valency of carbon. Again, valency is nothing but the number of electrons present in the valence shell or the number of electron involved in the bond formation with the other chemical, whatever you can say, right? Or the capacity to form a bond, right? The number of that means what is the valency of carbon is nothing but 4. That means carbon can form a 4 bond with the other other chemicals. So now check whether the compound is correct or not before going to the nomenclature. So now check the first carbon atom. So in first, if you see the first carbon atom, there are 3 bonds, right? That means we require 4 bonds. So we will give 4th bond as type hydrogen, right? Like hydrogen. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. This carbon is satisfied. Coming to this carbon atom, right? So again the same condition, only 3 bonds are present. We will give one more bond in the form of hydrogen. So now the compound is correct. And now when we can name the compound. So again the same thing, right? We have to do. There are 2 carbon atoms present in the given organic compound. So thus what we have to do, we have to use a prefix as eth. Now after seeing this compound or the organic compound, what we are saying over here, we are getting 3 bonds. That means of course it is an unsaturated compound. Unsaturation of type what? Alkyne. If it is a triple bond, that means what we have to use as a suffix? YNE. Add YNE as a suffix. We got a name called ethyne, right? Understood? Why we have added YNE? Because presence of 3 bonds. Because of presence of 3 bond, this compound is unsaturated and this compound is unsaturated of type triple bonded. So that's why we have used YNE. Right? We will check one more. Here the valency is very important. That's all. If the compound is correct, if you are able to write the correct compound, then the naming is very easy. Now check the compound first, whether this given compound is correct or not. With respect to first carbon atom, 3 bonds are in the form of hydrogen and here one more bond, that means this carbon valency is satisfied. So now coming to this carbon atom, that means middle carbon atom. So with respect to the middle carbon atom, there are 3 bonds here, 3 plus 1, 4. Okay, this is also very well satisfied. Valency is satisfied. So now coming to the last carbon atom, right? Coming to the last carbon atom, 3 bonds plus 1 bond in the form of hydrogen, right? So that means this carbon atom is also satisfied. Now this compound is, we can name. Why? Because the given compound is correct. So count the number of carbon atoms first. 1, 2, 3. 3 means what we have to use as a prefix? Pro, right? And there is a presence of triple bonded unsaturation. For triple bonded unsaturation, again directly I will write YNE. That means propyne. Like this, one we can name the simple organic compounds. So again, you take for alkyne type of unsaturation from 4th carbon atom to 10 carbon atom compound. You name these compounds. First, you check before naming the compound. You check the valency whether it is correct or not, and then you try to name likewise, like how I did, right? So this is all about the IPC nomenclature. Again, I am repeating you that I have not gone through the rules. First of all, I'm just explain. I have just explained what are the important things are there to identify you or name the very common type or simple type of organic compounds. That much only I did, right? If we go with the rules, we have so many rules. So that means nearly 5 to 7 rules are there in the during the syllabus. We will definitely go with all those rules. So for these online classes, you just try to see this much only. Why? Because if I go in depth, definitely I will not be able to what I will not able to, I will be not able to check whether you people are understanding or not. So that is very important. So that's why I'm not going in depth. So this is what all the required things are there to start the things. That much only I'm giving a idea. So guys, this is all about today's class. In the tomorrow's class, we will see the type of reaction which you people already have studied in your 10th or in SSLC, like substitution reaction, elimination reaction, right, addition reaction. Like these 3 or 4 type reaction we will see in the next session. Thank you.